In the very short time available to me, I just want to concentrate on primary education. Young people, as we all know, get one chance at primary education. You know, you can resit your leaving certificate, you can do secondary education as a second chance programme, or indeed as a mature student and third level similarly. But you get simply one chance at primary education, and that is why it's absolutely and vitally important that students get a good grounding and get support at primary level. Primary education obviously is the basis for all further learning and education, and every euro invested in primary education is invested in students and in their future and will stand to them throughout the rest of their lives. And ensuring that every student is supported to reach his or her potential in primary school has lifelong benefits, not least in employment and in health prospects. Unfortunately and sadly, Budget 2017 has failed primary education. There was no improvement in class sizes. We have on average 25 pupils in our classes, as against the EU average of 20, the second most overcrowded classrooms in Europe. And indeed, 100,000 of our children are being taught in classes of in excess of 30 students. These students in particular have been abandoned by this government, and I would remind the Minister that despite the commitment of the programme of government, the budget has in fact failed to change class sizes for the better. And indeed, all research shows, Minister, that smaller classes work well for children and that no class should be of more than 20 students. And of course, time and again we are told that we have free education. The reality, of course, is far different. The failure to increase the day-to-day funding for primary schools will leave schools dependent on voluntary fundraising and indeed parents' contributions. And the government funding of 92 cents per pupil per day does not even cover the basic running costs and indeed puts huge stress on parents and indeed on principals. The running of such things as quizzes and cake sales and church gate collections and race nights. And this budget should have at the very least, it should have restored the pre-cut rate of €200 for capitation. That at least would have been a first step. Neither, of course, does the budget deal with the whole issue of restoration of lost posts, increased release time for teaching principals, or indeed parity of pay. Special needs children also do not appear to have been a priority for the government in the budget. They still wait far too long for assessments, and of course we have a situation where the St Vincent de Paul Society have on numerous occasions to pay for these assessments. The failure, Minister, to properly fund and support primary schools is very, very short-sighted and must be reversed and should be done so immediately.
Deputy Healy. Now the next speaker